A wise old master was walking through the forest when he came upon a boy crying by the side of a trail. When he asked why, the boy said he always missed his mark when trying to hunt and couldn't feed his starving family. The master said, "Go home, find a fly, and watch it until it becomes as big as an elephant. If you do that, you will never miss again." The boy heeded the master's advice diligently. He went home, sat in silence, and focused his gaze on a fly that was buzzing around the room. He sat completely still for hours until the fly filled his whole field of vision. He could see the veins in its wings, the tiny hairs on its back, and himself, reflected 1,000 times in the fly's eye. Then, in one swift motion, he drew his bow and pinned the insect to the wall. From that day on, his family never knew hunger again. Hi everyone, my name is Gary. Welcome to S.A.G.E Network's Project 4, Threshold Gazing. I sometimes work as a sitter or an art model for life drawing classes. When I sit for a portrait for 2 to 3 hours at a time, with just a few short breaks in between, I always end up having a peculiar experience. The job seems pretty simple. You just sit there. Except you have to be completely still. From the outside, it looks as though nothing is happening. It might cross people's mind to wonder, what is going on inside his head? How is he able to just sit there, motionless? I know it because I myself am a former art student, and I have been visited by the same thought. But it usually gets brushed off before any deep consideration is given to it. There are more urgent things to attend to. But the reality is much more interesting than you'd expect. In order to stay still and keep a consistent posture and angle throughout the session, you have to find a point to focus your eyes on. It can be a dot on the wall or any other interesting feature that you can easily find again when you come back from a break. Then, you just stare at it for the duration of the session. At first, you're just sitting. Your body is jittery. You wonder how much time has passed. Was it 5 minutes or 20? You worry about what happens if you get drowsy, which inevitably happens. But then, the time slows down. The painters, toiling at their easels or scurrying around, admiring each other's progress or changing their water, they become ephemeral, shadowy figures. Sounds become distant and muffled. The outlines of objects around my focal point start to glow with a neon yellow or greenish blue light. Then, vivid memories begin to intrude on my awareness. My attention splits between two worlds, one where I'm physically present and still, and another where I can walk around inside my own memories. I can smell the scents, hear the sounds in my mind's eye. I can touch the furniture, feel its texture and temperature, even feel the clothes that I'm wearing at the time. But the immersion is never total, because I always remember that I have a responsibility here, in the real world, the present moment. I have to make sure my posture and expression remain the same, and the breaks are dictated by the instructor, so the journey can be interrupted at any moment. As peculiar as this experience may be, it's only a taste of what a deeply immersive gazing practice might look like. So today, we're going to cover the benefits of gazing, how it works, and how you can start practicing it yourself. Let's dive in. In this project, I will practice gazing for 30 days, for half an hour each day, except for day 30, which will be a 2-hour-long gaze-a-thon. 30 minutes is a good threshold number that gives you a real taste of the experience and its benefits. The longer and more frequent your gazing sessions are, the stronger the effects will be. So you don't have to limit yourself to just 30 minutes. And if you decide to join me for this challenge, you also don't have to go for 2 hours on day 30 either, if that seems like too much. I will definitely share my results so you know what to expect. But everyone is different, and it's up to you to discover what your unique gazing journey will bring. I'll be uploading daily updates as shorts and reels, and will make a final report video once the project is concluded. Now, let's talk a bit about how gazing works and the origins of this practice. On the scientific level, some of the effects observed during gazing allegedly occur when a foveal system begins to tire from prolonged periods of sustained focus. It's the part of your vision that handles pinpoint focus and is the most active during normal states of consciousness, responsible for our habitual perception. It is assumed that foveal fatigue can open up other layers of visual processing, including peripheral awareness and hypnagogic imagery, opening the door for phenomena I described in my personal example at the beginning. Neon light outlines, people turning into shadowy silhouettes, split attention, vivid memory or imagination, and so on. But of course, this is only one side of the story. On the spiritual level, gazing forces your rational mind to quiet down, making space for altered states of consciousness to occur. It disrupts your habitual, rational mind and allows more subtle and mystical perceptions to come in, letting you notice things that are usually drowned out by overwhelming stimuli from the 5 physical senses and perceptual filters. Gazing has its roots in many traditions. People used to do it naturally in the past, and many still do without even being aware of it. When sitting on the beach and watching the waves roll onto the shore, admiring a beautiful sunset or an expansive view from a hilltop. The most popular example from Western mysticism is the gazing practice described in the works of Carlos Castaneda. He introduced many types of gazing practices, like water gazing, distance gazing, shadow gazing, crowd gazing, fire gazing, and other examples that would require a separate video. Gazing is also popular in Zen, Taoism, and certain yogic traditions, and has many applications and variations. Different iterations of the parable from the beginning of this episode are prevalent in these traditions as a lesson about focused attention. By practicing gazing, you will train your focus and attention. You will learn to notice and remember small details, fully concentrate on tasks, and regulate your emotions. Your memory is also likely to improve with regular practice. There is also another level to what can be achieved through gazing. But remember, you will only see what you're ready to see, nothing more, nothing less. So keep that in mind when practicing. Evolving higher insights and abilities will depend on your dedication, consistency, natural inclinations, and your subconscious and conscious beliefs and biases. That said, people report being able to perform deep shadow work by using the split attention state to access the depth of their subconscious mind, access deep memories, use hypnagogic states for problem solving, and most interestingly, develop seer-like abilities such as subtle energy perception, meaning seeing auras and other energies, breaking perceptual limitations and illusions to see the true nature of reality, and even seeing through physical objects. What you will need depends fully on the type of gazing practice you want to perform. But generally, you would select one object and stick with it for the duration of the experiment. I will be performing fire gazing. This choice is deliberate, and I will reveal the reasons for it in one of the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. If you're following my example, you will need a candle and something to light it with. You will also need to ensure basic fire safety, and make sure you have a comfortable seat for prolonged practice. Do your best to minimize potential distractions. If there's still a risk of noises interrupting your session, such as loud roommates or traffic outside your window, use noise-canceling headphones with white noise, meditation music, or binaural beats. I also recommend dimming other light sources in the room. Consistency is key. Try to practice at the same time of day, but if you can't make it for some reason, moving the time is better than skipping a day completely. However, don't despair if you do skip a day. Just don't let it break your progress completely, and get back to daily practice as soon as you can. As for the setup, position the candle at the same distance from your face at every session. About 18 inches away is a good baseline for a comfortable, steady focus. There are no strict rules for candle height, but traditionally the flame should be at or just below eye level to reduce neck and eye strain. As I mentioned earlier, I will be running the experiment for 30 days, 30 minutes each day. It's a good structure to follow if you want to see results without overwhelming yourself. Then, on day 30, I will do it for 2 hours. Again, don't feel pressured to do it. But if you want to do it along with me, keep in mind that you're not doing it alone, and the sense of community will serve as extra motivation to help you along. First, prepare your environment. I want to reiterate comfortable seating, minimizing distractions, and fire safety precautions. Place the candle 18 inches away from your face, at or slightly below eye level. Set up a timer, light the candle, and begin the process. You can start by watching the flame and taking a few deep breaths, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you do so, allow your body to fall into a natural, comfortable position. Release any tension from your body as you continue to breathe. Then, allow yourself to breathe naturally and place your focus fully on the candle. Your mind operates in habitual patterns. It will try to re-establish dominance by pulling you back into your thoughts. That's normal and natural. Just notice when it happens and return your attention calmly to the flame. Think of it like muscle training. The more reps you put in of catching and directing your attention, the better you will get at it over time. You will begin to see visual distortions around the candle. That's normal. Don't pay attention to them. And just keep your attention on the flame. Other experiences might begin to arise. Do your best to calmly and openly observe them. Overreacting or applying too much control will break your focus. Just take some deep breaths and shift a part of your attention into your body to ground yourself and deepen the relaxation, which in turn will help you regulate the level of immersion. After the session, it is highly recommended to ground yourself. One of the most common methods is journaling. It serves a double purpose of helping you return to the problem-solving state of consciousness, as well as document your experience and track your progress. That being said, it's not the only thing you can do for grounding. If you already have a favorite method, feel free to use it. If not, you can consider forest bathing, water grounding, earthing, or grounding visualizations. There are plenty of resources available online that discuss these methods and more, and I'll make sure to dedicate a video specifically to grounding in the future. But for now, just know that it's a good practice to do something that will help you come back to Earth after being in a deep meditative state for a lengthy period of time. This is unlikely, but if you experience any adverse effects, it is best to stop the practice and consult a medical professional. If you have a pre-existing condition that may be exacerbated or triggered by the practice, consult a medical professional before attempting this practice. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and learned something new. I'm curious to hear about your experience with gazing. If you tried it before or decided to follow along with me, please share in the comments or in the Discord group. Link is in the description. I would also love to know your opinions. What is something you really hope to achieve through a gazing practice? What would be your gazing object or method of choice and why? What do you think really happens when you're gazing? And what are the possibilities and limitations of this practice? Let me know in the comments or Discord. And if you'd like to support me, please like this video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to my channel and take a look at my other videos. And if you want to support me even further, I invite you to check out the links down in the description where you will find my website, Etsy store, Instagram, the aforementioned Discord group, and my first journal, a self-guided, beginner-friendly journaling tool. And with that, thank you again for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one.